All right, so welcome to Digital Z Hub. Just a brief introduction to this platform for the sake of those that are coming across this platform for the very first time. So this is actually 100% an online tech live training where we offer various training on different tech programs such as cyber security, data analytics. It's actually the section we are in for tonight. Web development, Python programming, creative publishing, which is generally known as graphics design. So we also offer digital marketing training on this platform and so many other tech programs. So just to give us tonight's focus, being the very first section, I would have loved us to look at general introduction to what data analytics is all about, and then we can now focus on Excel. So, but before I proceed, this is a master class, and I believe I have already dropped some details about this particular training right in our WhatsApp group. By now, we should all know the number of days we are going to be meeting. Let me just say it again here. This class or this section will be running every Friday between the hour of 8 p.m. to 10 p.m., just 2-hour training. And then on Saturday, same time, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m., twice in a week. But there will be a lot of assignments that will be given to you in order to enable you to engage yourself before the subsequent meeting. And then I want to actually encourage us to make sure that we connect to the live classes. So if for any reason you miss any of the live section, all the recorded video will be made available via the group that are added every one of us. And then I would advise us to be compiling the links as they will be sent across. But I am also compiling them at the end of the training. I will forward the documents that comprises the lists of all the classes held and the topic attached to each of them, just for reference purpose. All right, so I understand that this is data analytics with advanced Excel and SQL. And I also know from experience that there could be a lot of us here that have not even settled the basic aspect of Excel. So I don't want to assume that we have learned the basic aspect of Excel. Now, all my data analytics masterclass, whether we advertise for advanced Excel, where is necessary, we include some of the basic, the very basic, because from experience, I observed that individuals who have not graduated from the basic aspects when they venture or probably start with the advanced aspects, they used to have issue. So whatever you are saying is as if the speed is too much because they are struggling understanding the basic. So for that reason, I have dedicated the whole of this section and partly tomorrow's section just to deal with the basics. And when I say basics, we have very basic, we have advanced basics, and then we have advanced. So even though I am going to go basics, some of those basic things, knowing the area we want to apply them might look a little bit advanced to some of us. So it's not as if for those of us that have done basic, it's not as if you are wasting your time or the class is going to be boring. And I can assure you that you are going to learn new basic techniques from the one you probably know prior now, right? So what we shall be focusing on tonight, we will look at general introduction to Excel. We will look at different areas where Excel can be used or applied so that as we are learning this program, we can start picturing where and where you are going to what use your skill, and that is very important. So here at Digital Z Hub, we do not just train, we train and mentor. We train and mentor. So towards the end of the program, or maybe at some points, I will take us on how you can build online presence, which is what we call portfolio, so that you can start showcasing some of the things you are learning that will help you to position for remote and on-site job, right? So that mentorship is included. So all I want from us is to make sure that you are very committed. I'm a kind of instructor that I am trained with students seriousness. Once I notice students are not serious, it has a way of, discouraging even others from experience. So please, I want to appeal to us that we should do our best to make sure that you don't miss 2 classes consecutive. What do I mean? Let's say you are not available in one of the sections. You should try as much as possible to make sure that you catch up with the next one, because once you miss 2 classes consecutive, it has a way of damning your morale. So let's try as much as possible to avoid that. So I will have asked us what is our basic knowledge in Excel, but I want to assume, because I know that I am privileged to hear from some of us here before joining this section, and I'm very sure that some of us do not have the basics. So for that reason, or let me see if I give room for just 2 persons. Let me not totally assume. Let me ask Mrs. Fadilat, 1 to 10. How will you score yourself on a Excel basic? 1 to 10. So I will just confirm from 2 persons quickly. Fadilat Ahmed, please, if you can hear me, if you are to score yourself between 1 to 10 on a Excel basis, how would you score yourself? If she cannot hear me, I think any other person can do the same. Just unmute and tell us your score. Please, I want a response. If she's not hearing me, please, someone else can access him or herself. This will enable me to know how to develop your training model.
Hello, good evening, everyone. From
Yeah,
1 to 10, I'll call myself 3 over 10.
3
I'm
over
Tonya
10.
by name.
Yeah, which means
Yeah.
that you need that basic training. The next person, quickly. The next person, I just need to hear from 2 or 3 persons, and then we move on. I don't want to assume. It's as if some persons cannot hear me. Okay, maybe they don't want to score themselves. Let me assume. So that means I will just go with Mrs. Antonia score, which means that we need the basic training. All right. Okay, so let's quickly look at general introduction to Microsoft Excel. What are the topics we are expected to understand, or what are we expected to know as basic users of Excel? What is expected of us before we can actually dive into the advanced aspect of Excel, which is strictly or mostly used for data analytics? One, we are expected to know how the Excel, we are expected to know or understand the environment of Excel. It's very important. We are expected to understand the various features that form the entire environment, which is also called the windows. And then we are also expected to know how to enter inputs. We are expected to know what is called data entry. And then we are also expected to know how to format entries within the Excel workbook or worksheet. Then we are expected to be familiar with Excel query formula, how we can construct Excel query function to perform different tasks. And then we are also expected to understand Excel basic arithmetic calculation and statistical calculation. So all these that I mentioned, they are areas of Excel that are expected that you understand very well before you can actually use it for data analytics, which is the advanced aspect. Though we have the basic and the intermediate aspect that relates, that connects to data analytics. So as we proceed, we get to understand that. So starting with the definition of Excel. So we can define Excel as a powerful spreadsheet application. We can define Excel as a powerful spreadsheet application. Now, that word powerful spreadsheets has a meaning. Why is Excel referred to as powerful app? Because Excel has a library. The library means function storage, where functions are collected, where functions are stored. And we have over 450 functions stored in Excel library. And that is why Excel is very wide. As a matter of fact, there is no single individual that can actually know all the functions in Excel. That Excel you are seeing has another aspect entirely, which is called the programming aspect. We refer to it as VBA, Visual Basic Words aspect, which is a programming language that is used to program on Excel. These functions that I said that are built in Excel, if you understand the VBA aspect of Excel, you'll be able to write your function. All those functions were written in the VBA, which is just like the programming aspect of Excel running at the background. So Excel is not the way some of us sees it. It's beyond that. Nobody can claim that you understand everything about Excel. You might only understand it based on the area you are applying it. All right? And for us, data analysts, we will focus more on the functions that relate to data analysis. Sorry. All right, so now the reason why I use the spreadsheets The spreadsheet tells us that it has a very large workspace, and that is one of the reasons why it's recommended for data analysis, because every data analyst needs a platform that helps him or her to hold the data values while he or she is analyzing. That is why across all the available data analytics application or tools, they all have their framework. So in Excel, the framework we use is called the spreadsheet. The spreadsheet plays double roles. The first role of the spreadsheet also acts as the library. That is why you and I can easily invoke functions from the spreadsheet. That same spreadsheet plays the role of a framework, that is a container that helps us to store data value for analysis or for processing. So that is why we say that Excel is a powerful spreadsheet application. All right. So what makes it powerful now? It has integrated functions, and then it has a very large workspace that can accommodate 1,048,576 records per sheet. All right. But it has its own limitation as far the reason why you and I are learning it. We are learning Excel so that we can use it as a tool, as an application that offers us statistical functions for deriving insights that can be used for making smart decision. So for us to be able to access those analytical functions, we need the Excel. All right. So now, having said that, now the takeaway here is that you should know that Excel is a powerful spreadsheet application. Number one. Number two, you should know that Excel constitutes so many functions inside it, which is known as its library, where these functions are stored. All right. And then it has a very large workspace. So before we proceed, I want to quickly show us how we can launch this application, how we can access it on our system once it has been installed. All right. So Excel does not come with your system by default. It is part of Microsoft Office suite or collection. That is a single installation that comes with Microsoft Word, that comes with Microsoft PowerPoint, Access, and other Office tools, right? So if it is not installed, then you have to look for all these technician shop and install the offline. You can actually install Excel online. The online is what we refer to as the cloud. And the cloud version of Excel is no longer, in fact, the cloud version of Office is no longer Microsoft Office. It is now 365. All right. So you can subscribe into that cloud storage, but all you need is to pay Microsoft's corporation, and then with the help of your Gmail account, you will be able to secure an account. But it means that anytime you want to use it, you must connect to the internet. All right. But I would advise you to install the offline. The offline is the one you install in your local machine that does not require internet before usage. So let's quickly look at how to access it so that while I continue with other explanation, we can stay on that environment. So how do we access Microsoft Excel on our system once it has been installed by the technician? or the engineer, or even you must have downloaded it from the internet. Now, there are several methods you can actually access your Microsoft Excel on your system. The first method is using what we call the program manager. The program manager is a sector within your Microsoft Windows where all installed applications reside. So every computer user should understand that once an app is installed, there is a place where it automatically stored. So you can access Microsoft Excel from that unit. And how do we access it from that unit before I mention the other method? Now, we all know that on your Microsoft Windows, we have a place that represents Start button. So once you click on it, it's going to open a dialog box. Now, in computing or in tech, the word dialog box is an interface that is prompted as a result of an action that is triggered that present to you options. So it is now left for you to navigate to the exact option you are looking for. You see that as soon as I click on the start button, the whole of these options are presented. So for me, we now go to all app, and then from all app, I should be able to see the program manager where all the apps are installed and also sorted alphabetically. That is ascending order. Now, the program you are looking for starts with E. Now, there is something about what we call search key. Search key, right? So search key is a kind of a key or a keyword that is used to fetch an application from its storage or from where all the apps are stored. So for example, if you scroll down manually, you will definitely get to alphabet E. And then from there, you can now find what? Microsoft Excel. Now, remember I mentioned that Excel is part of Microsoft's suite, which means that if you cannot find Excel on its own like this, look for where you can find Microsoft Office as a folder. And then when you expand that folder, you will now be able to see the list of what Office app. And from there, you should be able to access Microsoft Excel. So I can scroll down, just continue scrolling down, and then you get to M. But I consider this as a long process. All right, so you can see that we have a cell already. So once you click on it, then you allow it to open depending on the speed of your system. All right, and now while it's opening, we need to also understand that we have different versions of Excel, different series of Excel. And the difference between this series are the limitation of functions. So there is a function we will get to when we start analyzing data like SLOOKUP, that if you don't have a particular version, then you may not be able to access it by default. So you will now have to consult plugin to be able to attach it. Now, you can see the way it opens. Why it opens like this, it is because I am accessing this application from the program manager, because the program manager will always give us the startup page. The startup page is the environment that we are right now. And what does the status page comprise? The status page comprises different templates. So when I say templates, these are, you can expand them. Let me click on more. So long you are on the internet, you will be able to exploit more templates. Now, the word template means a format that has been designed for you just to exploit. So some of us that are experts, we steal some concepts from this, steal some concepts from the templates, particularly those of you that are just coming into the field. For example, if I want to prepare what we call a loan amortization, right, which is one of the automated system you can develop just to be able to analyze your data dynamically. So, but you can see that Excel has its sample already programmed. So I can just say, okay, let me check what this template is all about. So how do you now access the template? You click on the template you want to see what it has for you. And then you click on create, and that will launch us into the template. So this is data analytics dashboard, what you are seeing here. This is a dashboard, and this dashboard is an interactive dashboard. So you can see that this dashboard cut across how many sheets? This is the first sheet where you can analyze the budget summary. Then you have income, you have personal expenses, you have operating expenses. All right. So this is what, once you become an expert, you should be able to create the whole of this from scratch yourself, because the whole of this will only be possible with connection of different logic and different function. So if, for example, I want to take this as a project and I don't know how to start, so I can just come here and just study the format and then consult a blank workbook and start the design from scratch. So this is what we refer to as data engineering. All right. Now we need to understand that data engineering is a field, is an entire part you can specialize on. And what will be your job description? Your job description is simply developing a solution data system for company, for individual. So once you are able to understand their challenges, you will go inward and develop a system that answer the problem, that answer the questions. And then from there, you get paid. And then you sell it off. And then you look for another company, then you listen to them. What are the data challenges you are having? And then once you understand the nature of the problem, and then you go inward and develop the system. So that is just for you to know how to exploit the template. So I'll close it again and then go in and then show you the right interface if you want to start from scratch. So this time around, let me go through this again, but I want to use a faster way to access it. Now, you know, the last time we click on the start button and then we have to go to all app before we could search it out. So I understand that I can just click on the search bar and then type letter E. By the time I type letter E, if I cannot find it, I will add X. By the time you type the first two letters, you should be able to see a cell pop up. Then you click on it. So that is one of the fastest way of accessing Microsoft Excel. So what I'm still teaching us is, for those that do not have basic knowledge, I want to ensure that I carry everybody along. So I want somebody to unmute and respond by saying, sir, we are learning something, just for me to know if actually we are understanding what I'm teaching. I just need a response from one person. Are we learning something?
Yes, we are.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, so now you can see that there are other templates. So you take your time after the class, take your time to exploit them. All these are templates that Excel has put together for you to, generate some idea even as you start the journey of learning Excel. But tonight we are going to launch the very blank workbook. So this is the option you have to click if you want to start your work from scratch. So I click here and then it opens the the blank workspace. All right. So now, so finally we have gotten to Excel interface. But before I proceed, let me also show us the other method. The other method is referred to as shortcut. All these pictures you are seeing, they are called icons, and they are all representative of different contents within the system. Some of them represent folder. All these yellow pictures, they are called folder. And folders are referred to sub-storage. So user create folder just to package, just to arrange their file within the system for easier assessment. So all these are folder. Then some of them are file icon. Like this now, this is PowerPoint file. Then this is an application icon. So for example, you want to program a cell icon that will always help you to access it faster instead of you going through the start and setting it out. So you can just right click on an empty space like this, right? And then once you right click and then a cell or the window, the Microsoft window will prompt you these functions. Then you go to new. So from new, you should be able to see Microsoft Excel. So let's look for it here. Microsoft Excel worksheet. So once you can find it, you click. And then henceforth, you have the icon program on the graphical user interface. Because the whole of this window environment professionally can be referred to as GUI, graphics user interface. So which means that by tomorrow, when you open the system and you want to use Excel, you will just simply right click on it and then select open. All right. Or you double click on it and that will take you straight to the blank. So I want us to observe, you can see it now. The shortcut will bypass all those templates. So whenever you want to see those templates, you must go through the stats. But if you want to go straight to the blank worksheet or the workbook, then you can use the shortcuts. I hope that is taken. Let me get a response before I proceed.
Yes, sir.
All right. So thank you very much. Now, so I'm only trying to show all different ways we can access Excel, because if you don't know how to access it, whatever we learn now, tomorrow when you are on your own, when Mr. Prosper is not there, you will have issue. That is why I want to clear this aspect, because I want to carry everybody along. All right. So now that we have learned how to access it, I am still going to show you one more way you can access Excel. So let me close it here. Right after this, we can now go into familiarizing ourselves with the Excel village, with the Excel city, with the Excel town. Right now, another way is for you to pin it here, to pin a cell icon here. So this is one of the methods most professionals use. Instead of creating it here, that will end up, sometimes you could be looking for it. Let me tell you the implication of you putting it here. You can right click here now. If I rearrange this icon, look at it. If I right click any of the empty space and I go to sort by and I change the window component sorting order to like name, you see that okay, let me sort by item type. You see that a cell icon that used to be here is no longer here. And when you open your system tomorrow, it can take you like maybe 5 minutes. You are looking for where it is, because you are used to finding it here. So to avoid that, the best way to create the icon, create it here. So the whole of this section that I'm navigating at is called the taskbar. It's called the taskbar. So the taskbar updates you on the program that you are currently running and the ones you pin. So I'm going to show us now how we can pin a cell icon. Like this Photoshop you are seeing. I know that this is one of the programs that I use often. So I don't want to waste my time looking for it. So I've already pinned it here. The same thing to my WhatsApp. So each time I want to launch them, I don't have to start coming here and then start looking for them. I will just click on the icon here, and then that takes me to what? To the working environment. So how do we pin a cell there? Now to pin a cell here, all you need is to go through the stats, locate it, just like we did. So let me try searching it out by typing letter E. Now, once you can find it, right click on it and then select what? Pin to, you have pin to start, we have pin to taskbar. So this is the one you are clicking. So you click here and then you see that what? The icon is now what? Pinned to this place. So when next I want to access a cell, I will just click here without me going through all those processes that I have explained before. So please, I want to pause and give us 2 minutes to ask questions. This is master class. You'll be given room to share your screen at some point, and we should all be ready to participate in classwork. All right, so there are times that we could just come and then I will just stay on your screen while you are working. So question, please, the next 3 minutes. Questions on what I have explained or taught so far. Any area that is not clear to you, please, I'm giving us 3 minutes to ask questions.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
My name is Sandra Berenson. My network has been poor. I wasn't following. The only thing I got right from beginning is this pinning Excel to the taskbar, and pin it there. That's the only thing I got from the beginning of the class. I've been battling with network.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, so I think everything we have done in summary is introduction to Excel. We look at the definition of Excel. We look at we explain some of its attributes, that it has a very large workspace that can hold up to 1 million plus data for you to process as a data analyst. We also said that Excel has a lot of inbuilt functions in its library. And then the only practical thing we have done so far is how to open it on the system. All right, so still on that process, probably that is where you met us. Trying to give another option by pinning the icon on the screen. So please, I noticed that your, not just your network, your video is distracting us heavily. So if you can be stable, Mrs. Sandra, we will appreciate. Just make sure that your video is stable. And if you don't mind, you can even decide to switch off your video. All right. So for those of us that are showing their faces, I hope you know that this class will be uploaded to our YouTube page. So if you know you are the type that don't want to advertise your face like us, please make sure that you switch off your camera. So that is what we have actually explained so far. We have not really done much outside the theoretical aspects. And I know that you attended one of the free sessions where I also defined a set, so that will be an issue. And besides, the video will be made available, so you can listen to that aspect that you missed. So do I have any question before we proceed, please? Do I have any question? Sorry, who is me? Who is me? Who is me? Is that
Yeah, I think that's me, Sam. And Hannah.
Okay. Okay, so
Let me rename it.
yeah, it appears that we don't have question, and which means that we are okay with the lecture. That is what it means. If you don't have question. Okay, so in case you have any question as we proceed, feel free to raise up your hand. There is a reaction button within your Zoom app. So once I see your hand raised, I will pause and attend to you. So please let's take note of how to use that to indicate that something is bothering you. So let's quickly proceed. So now that we have understood all the various ways on how to access Microsoft Excel, now let's shift our focus to understanding Microsoft Excel window. Understanding Microsoft Excel window. I expect us to be writing or taking note of the topics, because by tomorrow I may just ask you, where did we stop? Right? So even if you are not writing the entire note, just make sure that you have your pen. This is master class. We do not rush master class. Right? So it's going to be interactive. Why it looks as if I'm the only one talking right now, because this is the first class. Once we get to the practical aspect, everybody will be engaged in the class. All right. So let's look at Microsoft Excel windows. Now, the standard of learning app, any application in tech, the standard is that you are to familiarize yourself with the environment, because this is assumed that somebody just took you, or you are just visiting a place for the very first time. For example, if you travel to UK right now and you are familiar with Nigeria, it's going to take you some days, if not months, to understand how things are done, whether you like it or not. The behavior of persons there will look what, or will be different from the behavior of people that you are used to here in Nigeria. So that same scenario is what I'm relating here. So I am assuming that none of us has been here before. That is the assumption. So if I am bringing us to this place for the very first time, then I shouldn't start telling us that this is bold. This is what? Fill color. Instead, I should start telling us the structure of this what? Application. These categorical sections that constitute what? The function that you need. The benefit of understanding this is that when we start exploring this both basic and advanced function, you will now see that it won't take you time to exploit or to access functions, because this class must have what? Address that. So at the end of this session, you should be able to know what is the whole of this part, what is it called, what and what can be accessed through it, what is the role of this session, what is the role, what can be accessed there, what is this, what is that. That is what we want to explain. So just to break it down, Microsoft Excel Windows. Microsoft Excel window is divided into various parts, and each of these parts has their own primary functions, each of the parts. All right? And that will now take us to identifying these features and highlighting their primary what? Assignment. So I am going to start from the top. So the whole of this section that I'm navigating at, from this button to this, to where you are seeing book 1, Excel, down to this place, does not include this icon. From here, the whole of that section is called the application title bar. The application title bar. So what is the main function of that section? Number one, the application title bar provides us the following information. One, the name of the worksheets. So the whole of this environment is called the worksheet. So if I am asked in an interview that the default name of a worksheet is called what? Your response is what? Book 1. And if you open it with the shortcuts, you are not going to see book 1. What you are going to see is what? New Microsoft Excel. We want to try that. Let me show you what I'm saying. Now remember that we created a shortcut the other time. I hope I can easily find it. This is what I'll try to avoid you. That okay, I can find it here. So if I double click here now, I want to check the name that will be where we saw that book 1 when it opened. You can see what you are seeing now. Instead of seeing book 1, you are seeing what? New Microsoft. So anytime you launch it and you are seeing this, that automatically inform you that you access it what? Through shortcut. But if you access it through either the pin icon, which is equivalent to the what? To the program manager or the start button method, what you are going to see is what? Book 1. Now, there is a reason why that name is there. There is an information. Now, you know that Excel is basically used for calculation. Excel have general aspects. And then before this special aspect, which we are using for data analytics. Right? So if I define Excel from the general perspective, I can say Excel is an office program which is used for calculation and record management. All right. So from that angle, it means that this is a book and is an accounting package. All right. With that in mind, that is why you can see that all these lines have been ruled, because if you have seen the work of an accountant, you know they will get book and begin to rule vertical line, forming their columns, then ruling what? Horizontal line, forming their rows. But Excel have already structured it because it has that in mind at the point of development. So while you are seeing this book now, this is referred to what? The accounting book, right? So that is one information you can access through the application title bar. Now, while you are still on the title bar, you can access the name of the app, Excel. The name of the app, Excel. So, by your right-hand side, we have a lot of buttons, which I can describe as control buttons. Why do we describe them as control? It's just like your house. You know, we have different control boxes. There's a control, all the lights bulb has control. Your fan, your electronic gadgets, they all have controls. So if you press one of them, you know, one of them will be affected. So the whole of these 3 buttons, they are called what? 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. They are called control buttons. Now, what are the buttons? Or generally, we can say that this set of buttons, they are designed to regulate, to manage the entire Excel interface. So when you are working as a professional, you should know the kind of action that requires what? Clicking each of them. So let me start with this one, sign in. If you have a registered Microsoft account, you can sign in here directly and then your picture will be there. Then this one is called ribbon display option. Ribbon display option. Now, ribbon means what? This. Ribbon means the collection of your tabs and their properties. Now, what do we mean by tabs? Your home is a tab. Your inserts is a tab. Your draw is a tab. Your page layout is a tab. Your formula is a tab. Your data is a tab. And all these tabs constitute different functions. And as a professional user of Excel, when you need a particular function, you do not need to be doing something like this. Where can I find the cell? Is it here? No. It's here. If you go by an interview and you are doing what I just did now, can anybody tell me what you have just informed your employer? You are doing something like this. Okay, it can be. Okay, no, not yet. No, maybe here. Can somebody unmute and tell me what you have just informed your employer or the person that wants to employ you? Can I get a response from anybody? Let's be quick to respond. All right. Fire tablet. You want to say something? No, I didn't get you.
Oh, sorry. Good evening. I think you were talking about the spreadsheet and the column on how to
I don't think you. No,
maybe.
that's not the question I'm asking. Just look at it. If you go for an interview, and you are looking for bold, for example, now I type prosper. Here, and I want to increase the size of this prosper. And then instead of me knowing that the command is under home, for me to come here and increase the size. You see the speed at which I contacted the function. I'm now doing something like this. I'm looking for that size. First of all, I'm not here, and then after here, and then you go to formula, and then you are not sure. And I'm asking, if that happened too long, what have you informed your employer? That's the question I asked.
Wow.
Miss
Wow.
Hannah, you want to say something?
Maybe somebody.
Miss Hannah, if you want to say something, go ahead.
Okay, you're showing that you are doing trial and error. You're not sure what you're looking for. Where it's looking.
Exactly. That is what it means. So I'm not saying that there are no time that you do that, but it shouldn't take much. And the reason why the reason why that might happen is either you have used it for a very long time, or you are not too familiar with the app. That is the message that you are actually passing. All right. No, I know that sometimes so many things could be going on that will make you not to remember certain things, but it should not be too long. Up to like 5 minutes, you are looking for a command. All right. So now I am explaining the title bar. I want to talk about this control button. So now I was about telling us the ribbon, because this button controls some things, and what it controls is what I want to explain. So the ribbon is the collection of tabs and their command. For example, as I'm clicking on home, I am seeing all these commands. So all these commands that we are seeing, if I want to describe them, I will say these are properties of home. The moment I move from home to insert, then that description changes. So right now I can say all these are properties of what? Insert. And then if I go to draw, these are properties of what? Draw. If I go to page layout, these are also properties of what? Page layout. So which means that each of these, they are like different rooms, just like that house that you are in. These are different rooms holding different what? Properties as command or functions that we consult when we are doing something here and we want to transform. We will now know which of the room to enter to get what we want. All right? Now, this particular command is what we are explaining. So if I click here, so this command, this button is for controlling both the tabs and their content. So for example, temporarily, I don't want to see file, home, insert, this, including the command under each of them. You go to that ribbon. And then when you get to the ribbon, you see 3 options there. The first one says auto hide ribbon, which means that if I click on this one, what happens? All the tabs, and they are, in fact, once you cannot access the tab, you cannot see the word, the command under there. So in case it happens like this, it happened to me 90 years ago when I was learning computer. I was 2003. I remember that I have to tell my boss then, because I was trained on that word, maybe virus have affected the system just because I couldn't what? I mistakenly click on this. And the funny part is that even himself as my instructor then, he could not even bring it up, or he does not even know. Probably he knows, but he is not sure where I actually went. You know, learners can do a lot of things sometimes, and when they call you, your mind might not go to where they click. Sometimes you ask them, what were you doing? Where did you go? Where did you click? You are trying to find out where they actually got it wrong. At the end of the day, we have to carry the computer to a repairer. And what the person did is to uninstall. After reinstalling, then the whole thing happened like that again. After reinstalling, let me tell you, if the way it is now, if you uninstall this app and install it again, this is how it will open. So I can't remember how we got it, but I know that at the end of the day, we were able to get it. But what I'm showing you right now, in case your hand mistakenly touched things like this, just go to the ribbon, and then you can decide to say, okay, just show me only the tabs first. So once you click, it brings out only the tabs. Now, the implication of activating only the tabs is this. For example, now I want to color this text. So once I click and I open the home and I access the color, the moment I step out, everything will collapse back. And I want those functions to be there while I am still working. So if I want the command of any selected tab to be stable while I am in that tab, then the option to use is this one that says what? Show tabs and command. So that even when you are even when you step out from that particular command, you still have access to the functions. Then that is how to use this as part of the control button. Of course, this is called minimize. In technology, when you use the word minimize, what are you saying? You are saying that just take off the entire window. Right now, Excel is the window that is running on the screen. Take it off, not deleting it from the interface. Just store it on the taskbar. So the whole of this section is called the taskbar. So it means that I have not closed it. I only step it down temporarily. So once I want it back, I will just come to the icon representing it. Once I hover on it, you will see a pop-up of it. Then click on it, and then automatically you resume that interface. So that's the function of this one. Now, the middle one has two functions. If you look at it carefully, you will see that it has two boxes, like two buttons. One is lapping the other. The first clicking, if you are using Windows 11, you have this automatic window capture. So if I click here now, if I have two windows, it automatically helps me to view two different windows at the same time. Maybe this is where I am playing music, or I'm watching a video here while I'm working here. So I can place two windows side by side using that is if you are using Windows 11 Pro and above. If you are using Windows 10, you are not going to see all these options. You can say, okay, I want to view 4 windows at the same time. Then you can navigate, you can maximize on the one you want. So practically, the first clicking on this button is called restore down. And what restore down does is to shrink the program in a way that you can view multiple windows. Right now, I am viewing part of Microsoft Windows, and I'm also viewing part of Excel window. Then, if you go back again, that same place you click, it will have switched to maximize. And then if I click, what is maximize? Maximize means what? Allowing a single app to cover the entire screen. Now, the last button there means what? Close. Now, you can see that the moment you select it, you can see the red background, which means that what? Danger. If you have not saved your work, do not click on this. So before you touch this, make sure that your work is properly saved. All right. So with that understanding, now we can now step out of that section. Let us quickly look at another part.
Remember, the application title bar comprises the name of the software, the name of the workbook, and then this control button. So the next part I want to identify, what are we doing right now? We are trying to familiarize ourselves with Excel interface. So by the time we start analyzing data, you see me coming here picking all these things. Then you will no longer be looking what strange or looking like somebody who has not been here before. That is what I am trying to settle at this moment. So the next part I want to talk about is this. From where you have this save icon down to this customize quick access toolbar, the whole of this section is called standard toolbar. Standard toolbar. And what is the primary function of this? This helps us to program command shortcuts. All right? Those functions that you must use, those functions that you use often. As an expert, you don't, or what you do is that you program them here. For example, there's no way I am going to work on this app that I'm not going to save. So I have programmed what? Save icon here. There is no way I'm going to work with this app that I will not call back my previous work. So I program this icon to allow me to open my previous work design. All right. So now I'm going to show us how you can remove all of them and then program them by yourself based on the priority you will place on them based on how often you use them. So you click on this icon. Now you uncheck those ones that are marked. So if I click on this, the open icon has disappeared. So that is how you remove them. It's because you can be given a laptop or a system where none of these are active and you are used to them. So you must know how to bring them out. So this very one that you are seeing here was added from the customized section. That is why you can't find it here. So for me to remove it, I have to go to more command, and then this is it here. So you click here and then select what? Remove. And then you probably what? Click OK. So that is how you remove it. But definitely you are going to find this one. It's always there. So with the help of it, I can click. I will be asking myself, out of all these listed functions, which one do I use often? I use save. I have programmed save shortcut. So next time I want to save my work, instead of me going to file before I select save, I have already programmed what is shortcut here. So I ask myself again, let me create the open shortcut. Instead of me going to file to select open, I have also programmed what? The shortcut here. The same thing. I will always, in case you make a mistake, you want to go back, it's called undo and redo. So I program them there, program both of them because they are very important. Now, in case there is anyone that you want to program, definitely you will print. If you are working in an office and you have a printer attached to your system. All right, so like I was explaining, you will definitely print. So what you need to do is to make sure that you program a shortcut for printing. So I can just say what? Print preview, in order for me to see how it's going to look like before I finally send it to my printer. So you can see the way I play around what? The status bar. Right? Now, let me show us how you can customize a command that is not among the default list. Supposing you want to program a table, you use table, or maybe you use a different command, and it's not here. So what you do is that you go to what? More command. So from more command, there you will see the list of all the popular word command. You click here, you will see other one. You see other one. So this is where almost all the command in Excel are stored. So under popular command, let's say I want to add a shortcut for center alignment or for even calculator, right? So, but I would not need calculator because even the Excel sheet itself is a calculator. So I can now come here and say, okay, maybe I want to add this. You select it and then you migrate it by selecting add. And then you can see that what is added. So I can say, okay, I want to program a copy command as well. You click and also add it. So in case you want to remove, you click on it and then click on remove. Then when you are through, you click on OK. When you are through, you click on OK. So by the time you come back, you will discover that all those command shortcuts have been added. Any question, please?
Yeah, so Mr. Prosper,
Okay. Okay.
I was trying to work along with you, but I found that my own Excel version, I don't know if it's a version, it doesn't have this option for me to put these shortcuts on this quick access toolbar.
Okay. Are you joining with your laptop? Are you joining this class with your laptop?
Yes, with my laptop.
Okay, so just share, request for share. Let me allow you so that we can see your screen and see what is going on there. Just click on the share button. I'm going to allow you. Okay. So I've stopped sharing. So share your, I think your screen should be coming up now. Go back and click. Okay, it's coming up.
So look at it, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So yes, you are using are you using the license version? I can see that you signed in. Yes, you are using a license version. That is why you are working directly from the license version. That is why you. But I want you to do something. In that place where you have update payments, click on the cancel icon there. Let me see. It's possible that it's still here, but that particular section is covered.
Okay.
Yeah, click on it.
Okay.
Okay, so it's not here. It's not here. So I believe yes, I can see that it's not here. It's not here. So you are using a licensed version. That is why you're using a licensed version. So there's a bit a little. So I'll call you back in the class. All right, so so that settles that because of the online version we are using. Okay, so I hope you can hear me. Any other question, please? Any other question? Any other question?
So I have problem with
you have a what? Please come again. Sorry,
I'm trying to.
the network is broken.
I'm trying to come up is
Okay, I can hear you now.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, I can hear you now. I can hear you now.
Okay, I think I was also following up on my laptop. None of our else applicable to mine.
Yeah, the same thing that is happening to Mrs. Anna. You can't find that.
My own Excel, yeah.
Are you joining with your laptop also?
Yes, on the same one.
Are you joining with your laptop?
Yes, I'm on my laptop.
Yeah, please, can you share your screen?
Yes, sir.
Share your screen, let's see. Just just click on the share button. Yeah, it's coming out. It's coming out. Okay, your own is there now. Your own is there. Look at that icon before that arrow. Click on it. Hello.
Which
That icon.
is it? The home is page layout.
On top of the home. On top of the home. You will see that arrow on top of the home where you have home. Go and click on that icon on top of it. Not the arrow. On top of the home, you will see. Good. Click on it. Yes, click on it. Click on it. And then go down.
I've clicked on it.
Go down, select more command. Go down, select more command. Yes. Select more command. More command. Okay, I think it's settled. So you are here now. More command.
Okay.
All right, so you can stop sharing. You can stop sharing.
Okay, sir.
Can stop sharing. Let me see. Okay, so for those that do not have it here, Mrs. Hannah, I hope you are still here. For those that do not have it here like this, you can actually get it from File. Just go to File and then click on Option. From Option, this is what you are looking for. So once you click here, you have access. It will take you directly to where we have those items. So Ms. Hannah, you can check your version. Go that direction. Click on File. Then click on Option. And then you go to Customize what? Quick Access Toolbar. And then you'll be able to access it. Please confirm if you have accessed it through that method. Any other question? I believe that should be possible. Any other question? Let's ask questions. So this is master class. Ask question. I believe all is well with Fire Tablets. All is well with Mrs. Sandra. Mrs. Sandra, I hope you are following.
Yeah. My own Excel has expired, so I can't even log into my Excel. But I'll try and down probably tonight or tomorrow.
Okay. All right. Okay.
I've gotten it now, sir.
Okay, so let's continue. I wanted to hear from Mrs. Sandra, but she can't hear me, so let me proceed. Okay, so we are still on understanding Microsoft Excel interface so that we can build our confidence in approaching it each time we want to use it to perform our data analysis. So, so far so good. We have identified two sections that makes up Excel interface: the application title bar and the standard toolbar. And then one more thing I want to show us before we pick on another important part of Excel is you can decide to change the location. For those of us that can find it here, we can decide to change the location. You see, it is when you are working here that you want to come up here to click on Save. You can consider this bar being here as too far from where you need it. So you can bring it down to display before the sheet. And how do we do that? You click on that same icon, and then you click on the last option that says what? Show below ribbon. So once you click here, you see that what? That has moved it from here and brought it closer to where you need it. And then if you go back now, you can click here, and then it will have switched towards show above what? Ribbon. So that is how you can change the location, just in case you want to change the location. So let's quickly look at another part. the next part is the tabs bar, where we have all these tabs. Home is a tab, insert is a tab, down toward head. So the whole of this section is called what? The tab bar. All right. Now, this particular section that keep changing its content as I was selecting the tabs differently, the whole of that place is referred to as the tabs properties bar. The tabs properties bar. So the main function of that part is that it is designed to display the content of any selected tab. So which means that whatever you see here, they are not fixed. You are seeing all this because you are in insert. The moment you move to home, the content or the value or the command changes. So let's bear that in mind. All right. Now, the next section we want to understand or explain is this section, which is called the formula bar. The formula bar. Now, the formula bar plays a major role. All right. Now, it's divided into two parts. So let me identify them and also spell out their role, their functions. Now, from here, where you are seeing D6, to this place, is called the argument part of the formula bar. While from here down to this section is called the function part. So let me explain it. For example, I have, you can see that once you click on any cell, this configuration changes. Right now, it's showing us H11. Now, how do we interpret that H11? The H11 means that you are in H column, and when you trace it to the row, you are in row 11. So if I click somewhere else, it changes from H11 to what? Now G10, which tells me that what? Oh, now I am in G column, and then I am what? In row 10, because the alphabet represents the columns, while the number represents the rows. So we need to understand that. Now, let's assume that I have 900 here, and then somewhere else I have 800, and I am asked to sum them up. So I'm going to use the name of the variable. Now, let me tell us this. You see, in programming, they all call variable. But because we are still on application, when we get to Python, that is where we will now understand this term variable. But for now, I want to let you know that this cell is a variable. How do I know that it's a variable? Because in programming, variable means container that holds value, right? That will probably be needed during what? Your programming. So if I am asked, what is the name of this container? So which means that what? All these cells, they are variable because they are created to hold different value that will end up forming your data set that you analyze. So if I am asked to add this plus this, then and display the result here, one of the Excel principle of entering one of each data type, because in Excel, there are 3 data types that you must understand that the worksheet is allowed to process. And when you type anything outside these 3 data types, Excel will not be able to process them. What are the data types? We have what we call a number. We have number or integer. We have number or integer. Then we have label. And then we have formula. We have formula in Excel. We have formula. Now, integer. Number means numerical values. An Excel worksheet is designed to accept it. It's part of data that can be imputed on the sheet without throwing what? Any error. Then that number now has 2 types. we have the double or the float, and then we have integer. So how do I differentiate them? If a number is a whole number, that number is called an integer. But if it carries decimal unit, like 19.6, that is float. Both of them are number. One is integer, the other one is what? Float. Now, what is label? Label means tests, because I'll be using these terms as we proceed. Label means test. For example, now, that is why I can type my name, Prosper. Excel will not throw error, because the worksheet is designed to accept label. Formula means predefined function that is expected to generate what? A different result. Predefined function that is expected to generate what? A different result. And that is what, and there are rules for entry formula. One of the rules is that if you want to add these two values, you must start with equal sign. So the moment you type that equal sign, henceforth, you have automatically sent a message to Excel that the type of data I am entering is a formula. And because it is a formula, by the time I hit enter, it should be, that value should transform from what I'm currently typing to a different value. So once you type your equals to, it means you are entering a formula. And now, how am I going to acknowledge this 900 and what? Add it with what? 800. Now, in Excel, there is what we call arguments. Arguments, right? Argument means the cell range. Argument means where a value can be located in the worksheet along the column and along the row, knowing that the column are represented with alphabet, knowing that the rows are represented with number. So if I am talking about argument of 90, 900 is G, and then when you trace it to the row, is G10. All right. Now, basic Excel user will manually type G and 10. And then Excel, because of its AI, will automatically detect it. Yes, you have just captured a variable name. And what is the variable name? The variable name is what? G10. Because that is the storage that is currently holding the what? The 900. But an advanced user like us, typing it is a waste of time. Just go and click on it. It will call it out for you automatically. All right. Now, I will now insert operator. Now, in Excel, they what we call operator. Operators are special signs that are used to join two or more arguments during calculation. For example, the instruction says we should add 900 with what? 800. So there must be an operator that will perform the calculation. The operator in Excel can be divided into three categories. Even when we get to programming languages like Python and maybe SQL, you are going to be hearing these terms. So operator can be, we can divide operator into three categories. We have arithmetic operator. That is where you have the following sign: times, minus, plus, division. This sign that I mentioned, they fall under arithmetic, and they are used for performing arithmetic operations. Like we want to do now, falls under arithmetic because the instruction says we should add. So I'll bring in plus. Now, if you are using your laptop, plus is by pressing the shift button on your laptop. If you check very well, there's a place where under cap lock, there is a button there called shift. Press it down and locate where you have equal sign and press it. And that will give you the plus sign. Then you go and select that 800. All right. So now you press enter, and then that has given me the calculation. So let me give us this as a classwork. Perform this for me within the next 1 to 2 minutes. So who has done it? Who has done it? Somebody should reply. Who has done it? I believe somebody must have done it. Please just unmute and reply. Has anybody done it? Okay. Miss Hannah have done it. Please, someone else. Has any other person done it? Please, let's confirm that. These are the simple things we should be able to do. And who is doing it? So that we will not just be waiting unnecessarily. Who is doing it? You are on it, you are having issue. Let us know so that you can share your screen. Who else is doing it? Please let's respond fast so that we can move on, please. Who else is doing it? Who else is doing it? Does it mean no one else is doing it? Okay, Mrs.
Hello, sir.
Yes, I can hear you. Have you done it?
Um,
You are still on it.
couldn't
Fadilat Ahmed, I've not really I hear from you since. Hope all is well. Fadilat Ahmed, please, if you can just.
All is well. I'm following you on unfortunately I'm following with my I don't have power supply.
Okay.
So my phone sitting down the next.
Okay, all right. All right. All right. Though I wasn't really hearing you clearly. What I can hear is that you are writing down something. Okay, Mrs. Tunia, you were saying something. And Mrs. Sandra, hope you are doing something also. Mrs. Tunia, have you done it? Let me get a response, please.
no, sir.
Are you having
I'm
issue? Are you having
still
issue?
struggling with it.
Okay, so maybe you should share your
Yes,
screen.
sir.
Let's share your screen. Let's see. Well, we should be able to perform this simple task so that we can practice things like this before the next class tomorrow. So let me see. Can you share your screen now? Let's see. I'm coming on your screen now. And I'm here to hear from Mrs. Sandra. Please, once you can hear me, kindly unmute and says, okay, what's the challenge you are having here? Can you start doing it? Let's see what you are not doing right. Please start doing it.
Have you
Okay,
typed?
let me
Okay.
start all over.
Okay.
I inserted the number. I hold on the shift
Equals to,
key
equals to, equals to.
and plus
Press equals to. Equals to does not
okay,
require holding down the shift key. Just press where you can see
the
that
shift key.
equal sign. Just press the equal sign. Good.
Equal.
Okay, now tap the first number. Tap the first number. Can you click on any of the number? You don't type it. Use the professional method. We are learning this for advanced. Let's get used to some of this advanced, even though we are highlighting them under basic. Just go and click on any of the number. Click, it will call in the argument itself. Good. Right? Then you insert your times or your plus. So this is where you hold down the shift and that same equal sign.
Key.
Hold it down and good. Now tap the second number. Just click on the second number. That's 7888. Click. Click on it and then press enter. Press enter. Press enter. Good. Now you can stop sharing. Wow. So these are the kind of thing you practice before tomorrow. All right. So let's stop sharing. Okay, so let me assume that we are rounding up. Let me assume that we don't have questions. So like I said, the video will be available. So you do yourself well by sitting with the video. In fact, between Monday till Friday is a long time for you to sit down and go through it. Make sure you pause, you apply all the practicals we are performing. So I just want to explain something else to us because we are still on the formula bar. So like I told us, I will still be on the basic. I believe tomorrow we should be able to get to data entry. So make sure you do not miss that tomorrow session. So now, I want to show something else. What we did here now, because I'm explaining the formula bar, things you can do. So you can see that, okay, let me call it back. You can see that as soon as you enter value in the cell, you have this, the content of the cell, what the cell is holding, showing here. And you have the function that you use showing here. All right. So once I have hit enter now, if I select it, it will show me the contents, the value in the cell, and the argument. Now, this is the point I want to register. In a cell, we have what we call absolute arguments, and then we have dynamic argument. When we get to the data analysis aspect, you understand it better. So once you see somebody attaching dollar to all those arguments, for example, you know, I can come here now and say, okay, equals to $G10. This is absolute argument. That is, you lock it up in that cell. But we understand that. But the one we are working with now is what? Dynamic, the one without the dollar sign. Now, if I want to perform this same calculation you did here, and I don't want to write the function myself, because I know that Excel has an inbuilt function called sum. So I can just depend on that sum. And how do I do it? I'll just type my equals to here, right? In fact, don't bother typing the equals to. Just click on where you want to sum up the value. Click on this fs. That fs means what? Insert a function. So once you click on it, it will display the list of functions. So there are a lot of things we can smartly do just by coming here. Now I want to sum. I'll click here and then click. You see that what? Automatically it has called that particular cell. But now I want to add this value. So I'll click here. So which means that I have supplied what? The first number. So there's no point of me entering that plus that whatever, because this is summation. The function means sum. Then I will click inside this cell and then tap the next one. So I've also called the value here. So if there are up to like 3 different cells, I want to sum of their value. The moment you utilize it to create another one, the moment you click on the last one, so you cannot call in those values, and the total is already showing you here. So let's assume you want to stop here. You just click on OK, and then it will output it. That is another way if you don't want to construct it yourself. So tomorrow we'll look at more of this Excel query formula construction, where you feel that the inbuilt function cannot do the calculation you want. So you can go ahead and use a query formula construction, a logic to generate your function. Okay, so we have just 4 minutes to 10. We give to our time here. So I'm just wondering what I can cover within the 4 minutes. Absolutely what? Nothing, because if I start it now, I will not be able to complete it. But I want you to write your notes where we are going to start from tomorrow. So remember that we have explained all the parts. We are still understanding Microsoft Excel window as beginners. Now, we have identified several parts from title bar to tab to the properties bar, then to the what? To the formula bar, and then tomorrow we will continue with the worksheet. So you can write it down. We will continue with what? The worksheet. So we'll start from here. We explain the whole of this environment, all the components that forms it. We'll look at them, and then we'll look at how to manage it, how to expand your column. There are a lot of managerial skills that are required when you are computing values on this sheet or when you are handling data. And all of these at some points when you are analyzing data with the advanced aspect of Excel will be consulted. And that is why I told us from the beginning that if you don't know the basic Excel and you dive into data analytics with Excel, it's as good as you are making a mistake. So that is why I decided. So what I'm doing what I did throughout today now, it has nothing to do with data analysis. This is like the primary school of Excel that you will have finished before coming to this program. So tomorrow we are still going to spend time to conclude it, and then we'll look at how we can create our own data sets, and then how to use some of these kind of calculation, use different functions to generate some calculated values, and how to format. All of these are needed when you are creating your dashboard. But once we get to the dashboard aspect now, we are going to be formatting. So if you do not know how to format during data entry, that becomes a challenge. So any question, please? If there's no question, we can end the session and prepare for tomorrow. Any question? Do we have any question? Please, if there's no question, so that I can bring the meeting to close. All right, so no question, no question, no question. All right. So at this point, we call it a session. We'll see you tomorrow. Have have a blessed night, and let's see you tomorrow. Good night, everyone.
Thank you.
You're welcome.